everyone, I'm Blue Flame, and yes, if you're wondering what is the difference behind me, yes, I'm in a different room than the last two videos because, as I said in the last one, I moved out of my dorm. So hopefully a lot more videos will be coming with this background, and there's other stuff new camera, I got some lighting features going on, so it looks kind of cool, and so that's all the new stuff in my life. So today is July 4th. And for those of you who don't live in America, it is our Independence Day. And what we do here is we celebrate with barbecues and whatever. Barbecues, fireworks, the works. I said fireworks and then works. I'm starting a segment called Ruining Your Holidays. And it's not like ruining your holidays, like, oh my god, you can't ever celebrate again. No, it's just shedding some light on the historical accuracy of the day and what people don't actually celebrate is not actually true. And the myths of the day and, what actually happened. And, if you guys want, I love to do research and all that stuff. I'm a history major. I can get historical facts and stuff. So if you guys want me to do that, put in the comments, requests if you actually want me to debunk some other stuff, because that'd be fun too. So, the 4th of July. Big American holiday. As I said before, fireworks, barbecues, aliens, if you watch Independence Day, the Independence Day movies. But everything we celebrate on today didn't actually happen today. And there are actually other days in which Americans should celebrate their independence that they don't. So, number one myth about today. Today is our Independence Day. We got independence today. That is completely wrong. We just declared our independence on this day. Well, we didn't, because we were still fighting the war. The Declaration of Independence was written in 1776. The war ended in 1781. So, technically, we weren't independent at all. We were still fighting a rebellion. So, our Independence Day should be October 19th, which was the last day of the Battle of Yorktown, in which the British surrendered to American troops. This just kind of lit a fire under our asses to get the job done. Myth 2. The Declaration of Independence was the only thing that was debated that talked about independence. Actually, this is somewhat true, but not really. In the fact that the Continental Congress started debating it on June 7th, 1776, when the delegate from Virginia by the name of Richard Henry Lee brought up the proposal. But unfortunately, because the vote had to be unanimous, and they didn't have all the colonies on our side at the moment, that they decided to postpone the vote in order to create a document justifying the separation from Great Britain. Now, this document would become the Declaration of Independence. Myth number 3. It's Thomas Jefferson's Declaration of Independence. History, always leaving people out. So, yes, Thomas Jefferson did was part of the Declaration Committee, but there are also 4 more people that we don't talk about who did help and edit and make sure that the language was correct in the document itself. These men are Benjamin Franklin from Pennsylvania, John Adams from Massachusetts, Roger Sherman from Connecticut, and Robert Livingston from New York. Now, I know we don't always talk about the last two, but these men all helped write it, even though they weren't the lead and apparently didn't get the credit for it. Myth 4. The Continental Congress voted and signed the Declaration of Independence on July 4th. This is even more wrong! Okay, so the document was actually started to debate on... This couldn't be more wrong. This is one of the wrongest parts of it. Since this is Congress we're talking about, the document was actually sent into Congress probably around the end of June, maybe June 30th. And because Congress takes forever, they decided to rip the document a new one, and they took out a lot of stuff. Their words and phrases, they just wanted to take out words and delay it even more. I mean, again, the thing had to be unanimous. So they had to let these changes be made. Some of these changes involved a clause about slavery, which would have abolished slavery. But again, the southern states had to be jerks, and we took it out because we have to be jerks, and so yeah. So it got taken out. Also wrong because this is also wrong because Congress voted in favor of independence on July 2nd, and that's when the first signers signed its name, one of these being John Hancock, which is the biggest one. This would lead John Adams to say that July 2nd is the day of which we should celebrate with pageant, pomp, and parade, because that's when Independence Day was signed. Also, what makes this myth wrong, is that not all the signers were there. Some of the signers didn't sign until August, or even October. So we can't say that they all signed it on July 4th, considering they weren't all there to sign it. This makes the famous painting in the rotunda of Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, Roger Sherman, and Robert Livingston presenting the Declaration in front of the entire Congress false. I mean, it's just media, you know how the media can be. And we didn't find out until 1884 that it wasn't all signed until August 2nd. So there's another date for you where it was completely signed. This is the question, why July 4th? Why are we celebrating on the 4th? Well, it sounds really nice, first off. Second off, it was published and adopted more and read aloud to the public on July 4th. So that was when we kind of made it official, like it wasn't private anymore. So that's when we declared it fully, like we read it out loud to everyone. But we didn't find out until 1885 that there was an actual signing ceremony on August 2nd. So, one more date for us to celebrate on, I guess. You know, as Americans, we love to celebrate whenever we can with explosions. Independence Day, myth 5. That this has been a national holiday since basically we got our independence. This is wrong too, because see, we get off work on this day, right? So the government does not like to get involved in the work-related areas until the 1930s, and it actually wasn't made a national or a federal holiday. 1941. Now, yes, it was a national holiday, and we celebrated it every year, but we didn't get off work for it when it wasn't a weekend. So, there you go. Those are some of the myths surrounding the holiday, but, it's still a fun holiday to do some barbecuing and some fireworks. And, it won't change, even though, we have 3 more dates, even though it's kind of wrong, and no one really actually did anything on July 4th. But, you know what, it's still a nice day to have fireworks, pageant, pomp, and parade, all that fun stuff. Okay, so I know we just talked about myths, but there's an interesting fact about this day as well. Now, it doesn't happen, it's only this one really interesting fact that I find truly interesting, and who knows if it's real or not, and I don't care. Now, you just said, Blue Flame, they might be saying, Blue Flame, you just spent 8 minutes telling us 5 myths about them and debunking, and now you're talking about another myth? Yes, I am. Because I don't know if this is real or not. Who knows? But we can never know unless we go back in time and we actually witness the scene. But because of their death dates, Thomas Jefferson and John Adams both died on July 4th, 1826. Such a coincidence, right? After kind of the Declaration of Independence and Continental Congress and the war and whatever, Thomas Jefferson and John Adams did not get along. They kind of were off and on about a lot of things. They were frenemies, as we say. So it seems that they had a little bit of a thing when it comes to death and who gets to live on in prosperity and lives longer, Everyone wants to live longer than the other person. So when he was about to go, John Adams, one of his last words says, "Jefferson survives." Actually, he died 4 hours before him. And because this is 1826 and not 2016, and the only form of communication they had was letters and the newspaper, they both did not, and we can't just see it on Facebook, is that he didn't know that Thomas Jefferson had died before him. And it's actually kind of ironic. And that is irony. It's not a coincidence. Because it's irony. He says Thomas Jefferson survives when Thomas Jefferson died. So, haha, literary people who get me on that all the time. Me ruining your holidays. Please like, subscribe, share, comment. Actually, put in the comments if you, like, what your July 4th tradition is. Mine has been watching the movie 1776 ever since I first saw it in 7th grade. So if you have some fun tidbits like that, please tell me. Also, if you want to request anything for me to talk about, I'm open to that too. So, subscribe. You know what to do. Everything below the floating head. Okay. I would also like to cite my sources, in which I used History.com and the Washington Post, and links are down below in the comment sections, just because I just want everyone to know that this is where I'm getting my information. Okay, see you later.